Welcome back, Alaska. Michael Ives here with your sports. Well, it's another beautiful interior weekend and another weekend of great sports action. We'll start up at the UAF campus where hundreds of people gathered this morning in an attempt to try to outpace Beethoven. The 2014 running of the Beat the Beethoven 5K flooded the streets of UAF today. With spring upon us, the Running Club North season heats up with one of their more popular annual events. Hundreds of racers lined up in front of the UAF Paddy Center and, of course, Racing Beethoven was on hand to help pace the crowd. They take off from the gate as Beethoven's Fifth Symphony begins to blare from the speakers. Racers would try to beat Beethoven by finishing the 5K trek before the last note of the symphony played. If racers could finish in under 31 minutes, they were awarded vouchers for a future Fairbanks Symphony Orchestra performance. And while Beethoven might have done the fifth in C minor, the race leaders were blazing in A major way. The Running Club North season resumes next Saturday with the 34th annual Tok Trot. And well, Joe Cook was on scene at Summit Lake, Alaska for the 2014 Arctic Man and has highlights and reactions from a weekend that left even ESPN X Games athletes in awe. With over 3,000 people in attendance, Arctic Man becomes the state's fourth biggest city for the weekend, and Joe was right in the middle of the action.
Thanks, Mike. Joe Cook here reporting from the Voodoo in the Hoodoo Mountains at the 2014 Arctic Man. I'm not going to keep you waiting. Let's go to the action and see what happened in this year's event. The headline for the 29th Arctic Man was the field as a series of world-class athletes competed, like Darren Ralves, the most decorated downhiller in U.S. skiing, and Levi Lavelli, who is a World Cup and X Games champion, but Lavelli lost a cylinder in the debut of the duo, ending their run, but he was in good spirits.
It's really cool to be able to participate. You know, I can't believe how many people are out here, and you know, everyone's having a great time. The racers, everyone's having fun, and you know, obviously it's nerve-wracking. I feel bad for the skiers and snowboarders getting whipped around behind the sled.
And the adaptive class, what a finish. Kurt Otway wins by a second, 5:18 to Kevin Bramble's 5:19. Unfortunately, Ira Edwards broke his femur near the start and was medevaced, but it wasn't all doom and gloom. North Pole's James Scott and Casey Boland from Anchorage win men's snowboard in 4:35. It's Scott's first win since 2000. He credits race director Howard Thies for making a stacked field that brought out the best in him.
It's awesome. You know, Howard puts together this great show, brings up world-class competition from all over, and you know, it lets a local guy from North Pole a chance to compete against those guys. I've been racing this race since I was 16. You know, it's part of what I do every year, and it means a lot to me to win this race.
On Friday, the legend continues for Tyler Ecclestead and Marco Sullivan. They win their fifth men's ski title this year in 3 minutes and 56 seconds, just 2 seconds better than Eric Fisher and Tyson Johnson.
Fortunately, after that bobble, it was a minute issue, and then we really nailed it beyond that point. We definitely just, you know, stuck every corner, and I did my part, and obviously I am sure Marco did his part, you know, and that's what it takes. It's a team effort.
We have a good bond together. You know, we've both done this together 6 times now, and we just know when I get behind the sled, I can feel what he's doing, and he knows that he can go as hard as he can possibly go, and I'm going to be back there holding on.
How about the ladies from KM Racing making a splash this year, sweeping women's snowboard and ski events? Shiley Robertson and Ashley Exholm took the women's ski title in 4:41, while Carly Brenneman and Ashley Nikolai won snowboard in 5:07. Not bad for Brenneman and Nikolai. They're rookies.
That was a great race. We about lost it on the first corner, but luckily she pulled us back together. Other than that, we were full throttle coming out of the canyon, so I think we're going 76 on the top.
This year we definitely had no pressure. It was just kind of like see what we can do, but it's kind of cool to see that we were fast, even just coming in here first time. So next year I think we'll have the confidence coming in and racing as well, so it'll be good.
Well, as you saw, another very exciting and thrilling year for the Arctic Man. KTVF Sports and myself would like to extend a special thank you to Polaris Outpost Alaska and the Alaska Cycle Center. I couldn't have covered this year's event without all their help and hospitality. They provided transportation for me throughout this year's event. And speaking of this year's event, the 2014 Arctic Man Report is brought to you by the Alaska Fun Center. And that'll do it for me, Joe Cook, reporting from the Hoodoo in the Voodoo Mountains for the 2014 Arctic Man.
Thanks for that, Joe. That was some fantastic video footage there. Also, there were a couple injuries down there. Our thoughts are with the folks and families involved. Moving on, 60 minutes. That's what this fantastic Fairbanks Ice Dog season has come down to. After finishing the regular season as the best team in the entire NAHL, the Dogs are truly living on the edge in tonight's contest. Kenai River won both Game 2 in Fairbanks and Game 4 in Soldotna to knot this series at 2 games apiece, with tonight's Game 5 for all the marbles. Winner moves on to face the survivor of tonight's Wenatchee Wild and Minnesota Wilderness matchup in the Midwest Finals next weekend. The Ice Dogs will need to bring their A game with 2 important players banged up, Taylor Munson and Kyle Lee, and facing a rival Bears team looking to shock the league. Puck drops at 7:30 tonight in the Big Dipper for this huge, deciding Game 5. We'll have results for you tonight on the 11 p.m. newscast right here on Channel 11. And that'll wrap up sports for this evening. As always, for more KTVF sports, you can log on to Twitter, YouTube, webcenter11.com, or download our mobile app. Keep on keeping on, Alaska. Mike Schultz is up next with your full weather forecast, and I'll see you next weekend for more sports.